they're getting abused, their boss is yelling at them, they're getting paid fuck all, barely enough to buy a car or fucking forget about a house. And they're just thinking like, there's got to be more to this. I thought I was cut out for more.
But then the most scary thought, like the almost like full frightening thought, like this is fucking infinite. Like it's infinite. It's just day in, day out. Like
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the 1% podcast, the best self-improvement podcast in the world. Today I'm here with Will and Hayden, and we've all got the high vis on.
We're ready to fucking
we're heading back. We're heading back to the trade.
Holes, boys, let's dig some holes.
Let's lay some bricks. So yeah, we're going to be talking about tips and tricks for apprentices that are stuck in the trade, because I understand that's a large majority of Australia right now, because it's such a developing country. People are building houses, roads, bridges, etc. It's really pushed here in Australia to go out, become an apprentice and become a tradie, set yourself up for life. Whether that's a good life or a bad life, I don't know, but we're going to discuss it right here in the 1% room. But before we do anything, we're going to go through some questions. So basically, I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some voice messages, and I said the top 3 questions, the most entertaining questions, will get a free shaker cup. So all questions in this, I'll DM you and I'll send you a free shaker cup. It's basically like winning the lottery. Who should we review? Who should we review first?
I saw you guys talking about like creator versus consumer type shit, and I just gotta know, like, is it kind of weird talking about being a creator and why you shouldn't be a consumer while being in an industry that relies on consumers? Like,
We've talked about this.
And I don't think it's hypocritical at all. But do you get like a weird vibe when you say to people like you should create, but then like also you're selling products on the side that kind of relies on consumers to buy them?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you've ever thought about it like that, or like what your take is on that. I don't know why. So I just thought it was interesting. I was like, I wonder like if there's any crossover there.
That's actually such a good question.
Yeah, it is.
And it is like, it's sort of confusing, but like we always say, like we obviously have thought about that, and I'd say it's just like kill or be killed. So
and it's also like the consumers are always going to be consuming stuff. So
exactly,
like it's like when you're fishing, you don't go and throw a net out on the land. There's no fish there.
Oh well, exactly. Yeah.
You got to throw it in the ocean because that's where the fish are, and then you got to bring them out to the land.
So what we're trying to do is bring the consumers in, get them to fix their life up, become better people, and then get out of the consumer lifestyle and start creating.
Yeah,
it's like a big loop. We're trying to just bring new people in and send them out to.
That's why I think like the best content I could make would be self-improvement content. Like I could go out and make like entertainment style content. And I actually had someone say to me a while ago, some guy I met at the gym, and he said like, entertainment's still good because like there's depressed kids out there that are still relying on like entertainment to keep themselves sane.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's the economy, and at the end of the day I feel like it's just business, you know?
Yeah.
It's business. Someone's got to be creating and someone's got to be consuming. That's just the economy.
Yeah, and also it's like, because you're aiming towards the consumers, you're trying to like almost convert them out. That's why a lot of people say the more self-improvement YouTube or the more self-improvement stuff you watch, the less you end up watching it. Because you get out of that loop.
Yeah.
So it's like you wouldn't go and like show a self-improvement video to like Dwayne The Rock Johnson because he's already like hyper successful.
Exactly.
So it's like that's just almost pointless. So it's like of course you're gonna market it toward the people that are consuming.
Yeah, and also I'd feel like I can understand what you mean. Like it sort of feels like morally wrong in a way, but you sort of get out of that when you release great products that actually help people. Like if you were sitting here being like, fuck all the consumers, like you shouldn't be consuming, you should be doing what I'm doing, buy my course right now, but the course was bullshit and it was just like a waste of time, that would be wrong.
Exactly, yeah.
But our things, like they actually help people. Yeah. So that's why I think like at the end of the day, it's a net positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I post on TikTok, and I actually made a video a while ago. Like I've been on this shit for a while, like the creator versus consumer thing. And I posted a TikTok and it was saying, because a lot of people say that in my comments, they go like, yeah, but like you rely on consumers. It's like, yes, that's true, right? But that's why I'm here on TikTok trying to get all of these people and convert them, basically.
Exactly.
But it's super interesting. It is like a weird paradigm. I do agree.
Like these consumers aren't just going to start creating and being better for themselves just because they thought about it. They have to have someone to tell them or show them how.
And it's like, at the end of the day, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit there and watch the creators, or am I just going to create for the consumers?
Exactly.
Because I know what I'd rather be doing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like every single person that's watching this stuff is going to instantly convert to being a creator, and there's going to be no consumer. Like, there's always people there. The best thing to do is just, like, at least try to help some
Yeah,
people.
like at the end of the day, it's business and it's how the economy works.
Yeah.
That's why people like build houses and then live in houses.
Exactly, and the whole thing, how it's like, is it morally wrong? I don't think it is, because it's only positive messages that are going to help people anyway.
Yeah, so that's why I think self-improvement content is like just the best. I actually think I can slowly see everyone sort of switching to self-improvement now. Like they're all sort of, all the content is like swaying towards, like if we're going to sit here and make content, let's make it positive.
Yeah, even if it's not like self-improvement, it's more just like a culture switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're in like the whole like weak men create hard times sort of thing. It's like we're sort of entering the hard times now because we had the weak men, and then now everyone's sort of going, shit, like there's no one to like make my life better for me. Everyone sort of need to like switch into like, shit, I need to actually like make my own life better, because the world's not set up for doing that. Make a conscious shift.
It's a great question. I'd love to get more questions about creative versus consumer. It's a topic I really like talking about. But we'll get on to the next one. Fucking awesome question though, really.
Boys, 1% podcast. I've got a question. Look, I really want to hear your boys' thoughts on manifestation, and not the bullshit manifestation like chanting affirmations constantly throughout the day. Not that stuff. The actual manifestation where you envision where you want to be and in XYZ amount of time, and seeing yourself as the next level up from where you are now. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Is it legit? Can you actually do it? Or is it BS? And yeah, bro, the shaker cups look fucking sick. What the heck?
Appreciate it, bro. That was Jamos. So yeah, that's a great question. I've never really gone into the whole like philosophy thing of actual manifestation. I've always sort of looked at it as like a logical standpoint. I've always just thought to myself, there's no point in not believing you can't do something. There's no point in believing you can't do something. So just believe you can do anything possible, because otherwise you're just setting yourself belief limits. Yeah. That's what it is to me.
I think more like, even just logically, like you may as well just have a crystal clear vision of like what you want your life to be.
I think Roy's about to join the pod.
Where's the cuck? Oh yeah, true.
Grab one from the kitchen.
We got the cuck watching again.
This is our point of view.
Been told off.
Oh.
Alright, so it's good to just have like a crystal clear vision of like where you want your life to be. And I don't even know if that's like manifestation or that's just having like a vision. But I think it's good to like, sort of in a way manifest stuff, because it's like at the end of the day, like you believing you can achieve stuff and you envisioning the future is only like positive. It's only going to just keep your mind on what you should be doing.
Yeah. And I feel like I've never sort of sat there. I know I probably should do this, and I do need to practice meditation when I can actually fit that into my schedule. But I've never actually just sat there and been like, I want this, this, and this at this point in time. I've sort of just always been pushing for better. And like, I do understand what I want in life. You know, I want freedom. I want this and that. But I've never sort of sat down and sort of envisioned what I want. I've just always sort of had that.
Yeah, I've always noticed though, even like, I don't even know if you call it manifestation, but I have like almost like a 100% accurate 6 month prediction on my life.
Yeah.
I always manifest stuff in like a short time frame, and like 99% of the time that shit, like I achieve whatever I'm like manifesting.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if it's some like voodoo shit or it actually works, but like if you actually like think out like, this is what I want at this time, I want to achieve this, you usually will achieve it.
Yeah, I just think it's as simple as not setting yourself belief limits at the end of the day. Like, you could never, ever achieve anything that you can't believe you can do. Unless you win the fucking lottery or something. Yeah, that's what it is to me. It's just leaving your mind open to achieving what, even if you seem egotistical, on the exterior, people are saying, you can't do that. As long as you actually really internally believe you can do it, you can do it.
I think it's like logical manifestation. It's like, so it's like you wouldn't go like, oh, in 10 years I'll win the lottery. It's like, that's obviously that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But you could be like, for instance, for me, I would be like, okay, in 6 months I want to have $50,000, and I'm going to do that by doing a product, doing this in the marketing, doing this and all my strategies, and just actually plan it out, but still have the manifestation. And then I just follow up on those steps, and like usually I'll achieve what I want.
But also, like, manifestation without action is just procrastination.
Exactly.
It's like, you've got to have the work ethic if you wanted to actually do, like, people just think screaming in the mirror, like, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, and that, like that. It's not going to do anything if you don't actually get up at the end of the day and do the things you don't want to do.
There's like guys that have like zero good habits and just zero work ethic at all, but just have these mad dreams, like, I'm going to be in the NBA, but I go out to the clubs and drink.
Yeah, and then it's like reinforced by like the next Andrew Tate video they see.
Exactly. That's not manifestation. That's just like dreaming.
It's just illusion.
Yeah, you're daydreaming at that point. Because you need to actually do stuff. Otherwise, you are just daydreaming.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Great questions, though.
Yeah.
Really, like, keep them coming in. Next episode, we'll do the same thing. The next send me a voice message. The next 3 best voice messages we get, you guys will get a free shaker cup. All right, so with the questions out of the way, let's get into the episode. So, like I said, the episode's going to be basically tips and tricks for apprentices, how to improve your experience in the trade if you're already in there, and also if you're not in the trade and you're considering it, what trades to do, and if you should even be in the trade at all, or follow that path. But first, we'll get into our story. So I was in the trade so I dropped out of school at 16.
I thought it was 15.
No, 15 maybe.
I think it was like you just...
Oh yeah, so I was 15 turning 16. So I dropped out of school because I just hated school. It just seemed pointless to me. I wanted to make money. I wanted to save up for a car and just get myself ahead in life. Like that was just sort of a logical way I sort of looked at it. And I decided to be a bricklayer. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess they sort of sat me down in a conference room and then we discussed our options, and they were sort of pushing this narrative that like my only option was the trade. And because I was just so young and impressionable, I sort of just... I don't know, I was somehow convinced. Like, if you told me now I'd be a bricklayer, I'd be like, why the fuck would you do that? You know? But, like, I don't regret it now, but...
I remember you generally wanted to be a bricklayer.
Yeah, no, they literally convinced me that I wanted to be...
Hyping
me
up. I
up.
want to do bricklaying.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Next to roofing and concrete.
And for context, as a kid, I was, like, the most ambitious kid ever. Like, I had the biggest fucking dreams, and then I was a bricklayer. Because they sat me down in these conference rooms and convinced me that was, like, a path that I was deserved to go down. Like, that's where I should go, you know? Anyway... So I did that for about 3 years. I was a bricky's apprentice. So I did labouring for 1 year and then 3 years of actually being an apprentice. I learned how to lay bricks. And then after that, I finally quit after being brainwashed by my boss, getting paid $500 a week. I still managed to save for a car. So I got a car out of that. I saved up like 15, 20 grand. Bought the car, and then I switched jobs and I did a bunch of other stuff, concreting, scaffolding. And then I did night shift shop fitting for a couple of weeks. I made a killing doing that actually. I went back to bricklaying. After that. After shop fitting, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, no. So I did shop fitting and then I went back to bricklaying. I was like, okay, I guess all I could do is bricklaying, but that's just sort of what I knew, and I wanted to like finish my apprenticeship for some reason because everyone told me if I want to set myself up for life, I've got to finish the apprenticeship, just get it out of the way. So I done the year of that, and then 1 month before I was supposed to get qualified, I quit. I think it was less than a month. It was only like 20 days or something before I was about to get qualified. I quit. And everyone was calling me an idiot because like, you know, man, you can never fall back onto that again. And that's something I want to discuss as well. When people say that is the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
Fall back on it.
You can, if you're smart enough, you can fall back onto anything.
You can fall back onto a fucking night shift factory job and make more than most
exactly.
Like tradies.
But yeah, throughout this entire time, I had very, very abusive bosses. And for any of you guys in Australia, you'd know, doing bricklaying, concreting, scaffolding, they're all pretty tough jobs. Yeah, having a shit boss definitely doesn't help the cause at all. But Hayden, you can get in yours. So Will's is very parallel to mine, but he finished school.
So I actually did manage to graduate school because I went to year 12. I was like, for some reason I just had this thing in my mind. I was like, I'll at least complete school. And also school was like, it was just so easy. I was just like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I don't have to even really do anything. Which is like, I almost regret it now. I wish I like dropped out and just did it because like, me finishing year 12 didn't really do anything for me. Like, okay, I finished year 12, but it was like VCAL. I was like, that didn't even benefit me at all. I was just wasting time. But then I eventually became a labourer.
For the same company that I was working for.
The same company. So I became a labourer, which is like pretty much a bricklayer, but you're just burning like 1,000 more calories and you're just running around and you're just doing all the shit jobs.
You just get abused more, pretty much.
Yeah, just a more abusive version of bricklaying.
So I'd do the bricklaying, I'd actually lay the bricks, and then Will would labour. And then he'd come with like the wheelbarrow and give us mud and all that.
I'd be like, mixing the mud, shoveling the sand and just like loading up bricks. Just like pure labour, pretty much. Just fucking shittest job you can have. Like probably the worst job.
I'd say, what would you say? Concreting, bricklaying, roof tiling are the worst ones. If you guys think otherwise, I know there's probably like some more niche down like sewerage jobs that would be worse. But I'm talking trades.
I was talking to the guy that was cleaning out the toilets at the trade sites.
Oh,
that would be worse.
Yeah,
that would actually. I don't know why.
I actually asked him how much money he was on, and he wouldn't tell me. But he said it's still not enough. Yeah, like they pay me a lot, but it's still not enough.
You'd have to be paid a lot for that.
Fucking stinks.
Viewers a bit of insight into fencing.
I dropped out and did fencing, which is pretty much just digging holes all day, getting cut up by barbed wire. I have scars all over me from it, and like blister scars all over my hands. You're working in the middle of nowhere because you're building a fence.
Yeah.
Nothing around. So you get blasted by the sun. There's no toilet, no water around. no nothing. Sometimes when we wanted to mix bad concrete, we didn't have water, so we had to piss in the fucking hole to mix concrete up because there was no water. Yeah. So it was pretty much just. I gained, I reckon, 10 years of age in 6 months just from the fucking conditions.
Oh man,
The
it fucking
trade
ages.
ages, especially in Australian sun.
Australian sun and bad concrete because it just dries your skin out.
I would come home and I'd go like that and just cement would just fly everywhere.
Like cracks all down here.
Yeah,
It's worth it though, bro, because it sets you up for life.
Sets you up for life for making $25 an hour, $30.
And so, yeah, I did that for 4 years, I think. Which, when I first started, I was earning like $500 a week, which I thought was pretty good considering I was 15. And then I got told what other people were making. I was like, that is not good at all. But I still saved up for a pretty good car. I bought my own granny flat with the money I was making.
Yeah.
Like I say, like I was a good saver. But yeah, just had shit job. Got,
Yeah.
same old trade.
Did you have a good boss? I can't remember. You didn't work with
No,
your
my
boss
boss
though.
was pretty good. He was a bit dumb though when it came to like looking at jobs.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was nice though.
Yeah. I think this is common. If you guys can tell me if you've ever been a bricklayer or a concreter, like if you've had a shit boss, I think they sort of have to be in a way because it's such a shit job. They have to be either a sociopath or an expert at manipulation to keep people in the job.
Oh no, and then I was a chippy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was a chippy for a bit. That was shit. That was worse than
Yeah.
fencing, and that was like easier on your body. But I would still rather fencing.
Fe-
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. It's just boring.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
And because it was a smaller company, the chippy, that's when the bosses are more crazy because they
Yeah.
got all of the weight on their shoulders and that when it's a smaller company. But when
Yeah.
it's a big company, they're more chill.
I think at the end of this is why I took so long to get out of bricklaying because I just thought in my head that all trades are like virtually the same thing, which they sort of are. I feel like, especially in Australia, like you at the end of the day, you're waking up at like before the sun's up, spending like 8 hours out in the sun, just laboring and using your body, then coming home at like some stupid time in the afternoon. And your boss is like not paying you fucking overtime.
Not putting money in your super or some shit.
I've heard that so often that bosses just don't pay overtime. They just make their apprentices work.
We're going to talk about that later on.
6 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah, I've never got paid. I've never been paid overtime when I was working.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Because the same thing happened to me. Like getting paid. They told me I was on a salary and I was making $500 a week, all under the radar, all under the books. But because I was so young and gullible, they manipulated me to like work like an absolute animal, labor for like 5 guys. And if you guys have ever been a bricklayer, you would know laboring for 5 guys is next to impossible on these massive sites. And he'd pay me fuck all for it. He'd dump me at the end of the day and he'd just dump me in this random spot like Cranbourne or Pakenham, and then I'd have to find my way back home. It was the most dreadful shit ever, but it taught me so much. And I also want to say, like, we're not bashing the trade in this. Obviously it's not for us, but like I do respect tradies at the end of the day because it's hard to do. And if you've got like a family to support, and it's what you love doing, and you get up, you work hard, you come home, you feed your family, and you do your other hobbies or whatever, like. That's good. That's great.
I mean, that's what a man is at the end of
That's
the day.
what a man is. That's
Like,
fucking...
they're getting up and they're providing for their family. Like, you can't hate on that.
Yeah.
But for me, that's just not the life path. It's not
Yeah.
worth it. It's not worth it for the...
Well, this is what I'm saying. When I was a young, ambitious kid, this is like nowhere where I wanted to be. But this is who I'm speaking to in this episode, is like people who wanted like these exterior things and wanted all these great things, but they've sort of been funneled down into the system, convinced to be, a tradie or whatever. And now they're sat there in their trade job thinking there's got to be more to this, there's got to be more. And they're sitting there, they're breaking their backs, they're getting abused, their boss is yelling at them, they're getting paid fuck all, barely enough to buy a car or even fucking forget about a house. Yeah. And they're just thinking like, there's got to be more to this.
Yeah.
I thought I was cut out for more.
Yeah, bro. My big wake up thing. This was when I was doing work experience for your boss, and it was like a few days after like I first started doing like a full-time job. This is like just after I left school, and I remember I just got dumped out in like the middle of a field.
I should remember this.
And I got dumped out. This is the middle of the Australian summer. I think it was like 35 degrees this day. And then my boss pretty much told me, "Oh yeah, bro, you just head up the field for a sec. You're gonna be picking up some bricks." I'm like, "Oh yeah, well I need my lunchbox or water or anything." He goes, "No, mate, no. Just head up there." And like, okay. So we go up there. He just leaves me there and said, "Oh yeah, there's a whole pallet of bricks that were pretty much underground, like in the mud,
lodged in the ground."
He said, "So I really need these bricks pulled out of the ground because I need to reuse them." And I'm like, "All right, fuck, tight ass," but anyway. And he literally left me there for 8 hours, just in the sun, to pick up these bricks. Like I'm getting swarmed by flies, and it's just like
For context, there's no way back to like. You can't walk back.
No, it was like a
anywhere.
2-kilometer walk back to where my lunchbox and shit was, and he's just like pick up these bricks out of the ground. I'm just like, and I was just sort of sitting there like halfway through the day. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I wanted all these things in life, and I'm just like out here, just like borderline fucking. I actually got heat stroke that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, after that day, I came home and I was just having like nightmares in my sleep about like it was like full hallucination. Yeah. I actually got heat stroke.
I think a lot of people could relate to this, like their first day on the trade. I don't know about you guys. I'll ask what you guys' first day was, but I remember I came into the trade thinking it was like, it was so much better than school. Like I get to swear, I get to have smoko with the boys. We can listen to tunes, you know.
So
that was literally what would entice me.
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, we're out, we're like working, and we're gonna make fuck tons of money. We're gonna have like smoko with the boys and shit. It's like, hang on, I get there and it's like been abused like 3 times already. It's my first day. I get a 15-minute lunch break. I work 10 hours and then I get dumped in the middle of Cranbourne at night and then have to find a bus the way back home, and I get back at 9 o'clock at night. And then it sort of just hit me like, I just sat, I'll fucking admit this, boys. I was in the dunny and I literally just like shed a tear, bro. I was like, this is fucking, because I've dropped out of school. I've made the commitment at that point, and I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like this is my life if I don't do anything.
It's like that first day, you just have that realization. It's like, holy fuck.
Might not even be the first day, even the second, third day.
It's just like, where you just sort of sit down and you have a realization like, this is forever unless I do something about it.
Forever unless you do something
Forever
about
and
it.
ever and ever until you die, pretty much. Because like, what's retirement age? 67. Like you're dead at that point. Especially if you're in a trade, you're pretty much like a sultana.
Yeah, like
Like you've just been in the sun your whole life.
you have like developed like 5 different fucking skin cancers by 50, and then like you'll develop lung cancer anyway by fucking 60 and die. So
Oh yeah, because you're inhaling all the fucking cement and shit.
yeah, or you just die from
My
silica
lungs
dust.
still haven't recovered from the amount of cement I was inhaling. The amount of silica dust. Oh, look, you know how much I got paid after that first day? After that first day of
Oh, I remember this.
$50. I worked 10 hours. I got paid $50. What's that? That's $5 an hour.
That would buy you 2 kebabs.
I never worked for him again after that. Well, fuck that.
What made me like realize I don't want to do this was not so much the job itself, but the thought of having to do the same thing every single day for the rest of my life. I'm
That's
like, no way I'm sitting here doing the same thing. I remember it was the second week of fencing when I'm like, fuck, I've got to do this over and over and over.
Yeah, it doesn't
You
end.
did it for like 4 years, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it for 4 years. No, but the thing is though,
That would be infinite if you didn't.
Yeah, I remember I was thinking that for in that 4 years, because it was the same thing over and over and over again. It felt like that. Like,
Yeah, it can go so quick.
Yeah, it felt
Yeah.
so quick because I was just doing the same shit, and then just spending all my money on that fucking the club or something.
Yeah. I'd say the biggest
drinks.
thing though, if you are stuck in that situation, is like, fuck man, save your money. Save your money.
Yeah.
Please don't max out every week.
Because the thing is, if you max out every week, you go to the club and you spend it. That like every day when you're just miserable and you're like, when will this day end? Because I remember that was me every single day. No matter how long I worked in it, I just never got used to it. It was always just like, this day feels like it's never gonna fucking end.
Yeah, I hate this.
But then the most scary thought, like the almost like full frightening thought, like this is fucking infinite. Like it's infinite. It's just day in, day out. Like, oh yeah, you get a 2-week break at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's fucking infinite. It never ends. You're doing that until you're dead, pretty much.
Yeah. It put me in such a fucking dark depression, man, honestly. I was so depressed because it felt like there was no escape either. Like it just felt like, where the fuck am I going to get the time to like get at it? Like I literally, what else do I do?
Well, can we just talk about the fact that you built Youth Market on the back of you getting home at 7 p.m. every night?
Yeah.
Then having to wake up at 4 a.m.
This is what I want to talk about as well in this podcast. And shout out Jamos. Jamos talks about this all the time, and he can definitely relate to this episode. You've got to get home, and you just got to be so hard on yourself and build something.
Yeah, no matter
Because
what.
it's so easy. Because like the system is set up, you know, TVs, and I've said the lounge rooms are part of the Matrix, and people laughed at me. But like, listen, you get home, they have home and away scheduled right when you get home from work. When everyone gets home from work, they have home and away scheduled, so you don't have to socialize after or do anything else. You watch home and away. What a lounge room is for? To sit there and watch the TV, waste all your time, and then they fucking now because they've traded slavery for actual money. Now you got to go out and buy your food and cook your own food. So now you spend your time cooking the food, making the food. They try to take your time here and there. And you've got no time if you're just a normal person come home from work.
Bro, the TV is like, it sounds retarded, but it is full, like an Andrew Tate. It's like it's a Matrix attack, bro. Because it's like,
No shit. And then they've got the news as well.
Yeah, because they've got all the infinite shows, like the ones that are always running. They've got all that set for the afternoon when everyone gets home from work, like you said.
Like what I was gonna say, have you noticed when you had that one sick day and you would stay home and watch TV, all of the shows are shit?
Yeah.
Because they want you to fuck off, go back to work.
Yeah.
But as soon as the afternoon comes, everyone's sat down. They'll chuck on like The Block, or they'll chuck on fucking Home and Away or something, and you're just like, because I know at work, all the old guys, all they would talk about, he's like, did you watch Married at First Sight last night? And it's like, no, bro, because I was like trying to do shit to actually fucking get out of that situation.
Yeah.
But like that's what'll get you stuck. Like lounge rooms are a part of it.
And then don't even go onto the phones. It's even harder now because everyone's so addicted to like TikTok, Instagram, and all the other bullshit. But fucking hell, man.
I've heard some depressing shit. Like,
oh yeah,
like this one guy would just spend like literally. So he would pay everything he needed to pay, like the rent, the bills, everything needed to be paid, and then literally the rest was just designated for sports bet.
oh yeah.
So it's like the money's gone regardless. Like it's not even to a point where it's like, oh, I might win some money. It's like, you know, the money's going. Like he knew the money was just going to disappear. That's why he just had it delegated.
Yeah, and no, and he was the same guy saying set yourself up for life, but he literally had negative dollars to his name at the age of like 60
In debt. Yeah.
So why the fuck would you go and tell me to like do what you've done? It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work, mate.
Every old guy I've ever worked with is trying to give me advice.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be like you, cunt.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's really that just even gets more into your head, where it's just like everyone is just so fucking depressed on this work site. Everyone, like, he would talk every day about how he wants to kill himself.
Yeah.
Literally, his wife wouldn't fuck him. He hated his wife. He hated his job. Everything in his life he hated, and he just wanted to neck himself. Every single day he'd tell me that.
Yeah, but he should try to give you advice.
Like he'd say, "I don't want to be here, man." He wasn't talking about his job. Like he doesn't want to be on Earth. Every day he would say that.
It's kind of fucked up, bro.
No, dude, it's so fucked. But like I almost say to kids, like, get in the trade so you can realize what you don't fucking want.
That's
the biggest thing.
The earlier you do it, the earlier you realize I need to get the fuck out. Yeah. It's almost like a timer. It's like as soon as you start, it's like the trade or like a shit job, it's like a timer's set, and then you just like, holy fuck, I need to get out. But most people just sort of they get comfortable with it because
they can place them.
There are some jobs out there like what's the saying? A good wage is the killer of all dreams.
Yeah.
Because there's some like union jobs and stuff out there which I'm not gonna hate on. Like there's some good jobs out there that you can just like stick with.
Union jobs, yeah.
But the really comfortable ones, like you're probably never like getting out of that because like it's like just all right. It's like just good enough to the point where you probably shouldn't get out. But you don't really enjoy your life, but it's like, it still pays the bills and you can still go on holiday 2 weeks every
That's why I look back in gratitude, the fact that I did literally the hardest jobs, like concreting, bricklaying, and scaffolding. Like there's no way I was doing that for the rest of my life. You know?
No, that's not viable.
It was every day I was like, I fucking need to get out of here.
Yeah. Like it doesn't really get easier. Like every single morning I would just wake up, look outside, it's like pissing rain, it's like 2 degrees, and I'm just like, This is just as shit as like my first day doing it.
Yeah, it's just as shit. It never gets any better.
No, it doesn't.
Like it might for some people, but not for me, man.
Or some of those like winter fucking mornings where like you get to work and everything's just iced over, and like the second I get out of the car, I'm getting yelled at to like throw mud into the mixer. The shovel is literally coated in ice, so I can't even grip onto it properly because it's just sliding around in my hands. I have to like break the ice off all the fucking equipment. Oh,
yeah.
Bro.
Scaffolders can relate to this. Your early morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. Your fucking hands are like numb. They're like frosted over. You grab a scaffold bit.
Yeah,
the scaffold's like
that was a thing in fencing.
Yeah,
as well.
it's like wet. It's like frozen over. You go. You put it in. You hammer it in. You fucking smash your finger on it. It goes numb. It gets all fucking purple. And then you got your boss yelling at you while he's paying you like $20 an hour. Not even, probably $90 an hour. And he's yelling at you. Fucking hurry up.
I actually say that's probably the worst thing. And I think like people who work outside, like especially in the winter, can relate. The worst thing probably about the entire job was the mornings where your hands are just numb. Yeah. And they're like cold, and it's so painful to the point where you'd almost like I'd literally like be there like this, like almost crying, like my hands are shaking. I can't even like my hands were so cold I couldn't even curl my fingers around the shovel. Yeah. So I couldn't actually properly like throw in like a mix into the fucking mixer. Like I remember this one time, I think I told you about it. Like it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to throw the sand into the mixer, and because my hands don't physically, like, they're frozen, like I can't grip the shovel.
You can't move them,
I can't grip the shovel. I went to go put some sand into the mixer, and my whole fucking like hand went in the mixer, and like my wrist just got caught up and just like spun around. I remember spraying my wrist for ages.
And then your wrist looked like a drill bit.
But then
You just sat there with like a nub.
Oh, bro! I remember I just wanted to fucking go home, and I'm like in the middle of nowhere. I'm in like Yarram or some shit. No one knows where that is.
Nothing pisses me off more than when you hurt yourself and your boss just says, "Suck it up."
Yeah.
It's like,
bro.
what do you want him? What do you want to do? What do he wants to do?
It's so
You're
fucking
injured, you
stupid.
can't work.
They'll call you a sook or
Yeah.
some shit.
I worked through that.
There's gonna be like people in this fucking egotistical cunts on the comment section be like, oh, you guys are sooks, you know, you should have stuck it out. You guys are sooks. But realistically, if you're just being,
10 years
if you are being fully honest with yourself, like why would you want to do that?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
why would you want to do
You're
that?
picking money over your own health.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
But not even good
your
money.
Ego.
It's
It's almost like an ego thing.
It's an ego thing, yeah.
Shit money, and you're just crippling yourself.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't know what hard work is, mate. It's like it's
It definitely-
We did it. We just was smart enough to get out.
yeah, it turns boys into men though.
Oh,
I've seen some. I've seen people that just don't last because they're just soft as fuck.
Yeah, there's a difference between. There is literally a difference between you can tell who's been through the ringer and who hasn't. It's like it's almost like a thing where it's like, yeah, you go through and you come out like a different person for sure.
That's why I do respect tradies because you know
Yeah, exactly.
they know how to work hard.
Yeah. I just remember this one time I was like, this is I think it was a few days before I quit. This is the moment that I knew I'm like, okay, now this just has to end. I remember I was just like pushing a full load of mud through like mortar.
Yeah.
Some people don't know there's like called mud. I always call it mud.
Yeah,
But it's like mortar, yeah, through this hill. It's like on the piss like this, and I'm pushing it, and it just fucking slides out on me. And so we're trying to lay bricks that is behind scaffold, right? So because we couldn't get rid of the scaffold. The scaffold is in front of the bricks, and we're still trying to lay around it. And I'm pushing this wheelbarrow, and the whole thing just falls down the hill. And I think it like took me with it, and I full smashed my head on the scaffold. And I just remember, it was like full like bruise, like it was welting up and everything. And I'm covered in mud because I've just fallen in the wet mud. It's like raining, and then like the old guy's like, "Come on, mate, hurry up! We need to get that mud. We need to get that mud in now." A guy who's on a wage.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even getting the money from this job. Why do you
Just indoctrinated to think that
exactly?
Yeah, I had a similar thing of what made me want to get out of it was when I was on a ladder on a hill that was this steep or whatever. You know, ladders are meant to be on flat, but I had to do it because, you know.
Yeah.
And I was tying something above barbed wire that was like thick as and like sharp as, and then I fell back and my arm got caught in the barb. And like it went all the way into my bone and then just pulled my skin up. And I remember I was like almost hanging from it. And then I was like on the ground like this. And whenever I hurt myself, I tend to faint.
Yeah.
So I was pale and like fainting. And then I was just going. And then I was just getting told, "Come on, get up. We've still got another hour to go." Fuck this.
Bro, seriously.
And I was like, I need to go.
Bro, some of the days I went through, fucking, especially bricklaying, like labouring in the winter. Oh my god! I think what book is it? I think it's Millionaire Fastlane by
Mac DeMarco or some shit.
MJ DeMarco.
No. Oh, MJ DeMarco.
Yes. MJ DeMarco.
This guy. I could be completely wrong. It could be I'm pretty sure it's from the book where it's like you have an FTE. It's called a fuck this event. I think a lot of people go through this where you're just like, you just sort of look around at your situation. You're like, fuck this, bro.
That's real. Oh, fuck that. I had so many of those fuck this moments, but then I was still just stick there.
I had like multiple fuck this
I was
moments.
brainwashed by the boss because he was such a sociopath. I was literally just like indoctrinated into his views, and I was like, I can't fucking. I was just literally convinced that like I was stuck there for life. To be honest.
Yeah, can we like talk about how like it's almost like a brainwashing thing? How when you like, especially even if you're young, people seem to think that like this is what I thought. It's like you're almost tied to the job. Like you can't quit.
Yeah. I want to talk about practical steps as well for like, because I've had to deal with this. Like I was fully just like a pussy at the start, and I just listened to everything the boss says. But now I'm sort of, you know, you can maneuver your way. You know, you don't have to listen to everything he says.
And it's like
You actually stand up for yourself.
like, also, you're not tied to that job. Like, there's plenty of jobs out there. Like, if you're getting literally verbally abused or even physically abused, which I've heard about heaps, it's like, you could just leave, bro.
Yeah.
Just leave.
There's other jobs out there.
There's so many jobs out there.
They'll convince you you're like a part of the family, or you're like,
Nah.
The main thing they say is, mate, you're not going to find better pay than this. That's the one I was
Yeah,
told.
bro, the second I quit my job, the only feeling I had was just relief.
yeah.
It's like, oh my god, it's like I've just had this fucking, just like, it's like I was just dragging this lump of shit around.
Every time I've done the job and I thought I was like, oh fuck, it's gonna be so hard to quit, and I've rang the boss and said, fuck you, I've quit. And then I'm like, hold on, what the fuck was I even doing that for? I just wasted 3 years.
Yeah, no, literally.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. It's like, why did I not quit early?
I was making 500 a week. What was I doing that for? Doing the hardest job.
But then again, some people like because they have like all these habits with like spending all like sports bets, spending all their money, going to the clubs, they actually can't quit because they have nothing saved.
Yeah.
And it's like I used to hear about people to be like, "Oh, I need to fucking go, man. This is just it's killing me. I want to fucking like, I literally want to die because of this job." And it's like, okay, well you can't because you just spend all your money on sports bet and the clubs.
Yeah, that's like too
you
important.
fucking have a brain, bro.
It's fucking stupid. This is what one thing I'm so grateful for is I saved money.
Yeah.
And I allowed myself to have that financial window to regain and rethink. And another thing that like trades do is after work, you have so much brain fog and shit, and you might not realize that because you've been doing the trade your whole life. But like, I sort of took this time off because I was working, I saved up like 10 grand. And then I literally just stopped work for like fucking, it was like 5 months, I think, just to build up the businesses and stuff. And I made so much progress. But in that time, I became like a completely new person. Like I actually found myself. And I was like, I feel like I'm seeing shit in 4D right now. Because when I was stuck in the trade, you just can't think properly.
Well, especially since like, because like you get home from work and it's just, everything is tired. Like your nervous system's fucked, your body's fucked, like your brain's fried because you've just been thinking about like, shit all day, and it's just like so it's like during the week you're written off, like you really can't think straight, and then on the weekend you like usually got like shit to do as well, so it's like hard to even make any progress. That's why I think like just save up a massive safety net, or even just a window where you can quit your job for a bit and just use that money to just fund freedom, pretty much.
For the guys here saying, "Oh fuck you, I can't save." Are you serious? It's 2023. I can't buy. I can't save money. Like, I understand that 2023 is fucking, it's hard. Everything's through the roof. Fuel's through the roof. Like rent's through the roof. Everything is just fucking expensive as shit. Do understand that, but you can still save money. Like, I was on 500 a week saving money.
Especially if you live with your parents.
And I was paying rent.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you live with your parents, you can save. Like,
yeah, it's a stupid, like, just simply cut out all the things that you don't need.
Yeah. But even like the guys who will just, they'll be like 20 years old and then they'll have nothing saved and they'll go try and move out with their missus.
Oh,
it's like you are financially fucked after that. And then they'll get like a dog too. It's like I can understand that might be what you want, but it's like you're financially just fucking yourself.
Yeah, you're literally just fucking yourself up. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't. Yeah, and it's like, and like then like they want to go out on dates and like it's just like you got to pay all the rent.
Yeah, it's fucked. I've heard First Man actually talk about this, like how this setup we've got right now, it makes so much sense, but because the Matrix has fucking put these views on everyone, it's like seen as weird to do that. And like not traditional to do that.
Yeah, well that's what ethnics do.
Dude, it makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Like I understand you love her and she's the one. So you move out with her, you get the dog, you get the kids, happily ever after, right? But you get divorced anyway because you realize you hate her and you just fucking can't stand it, right? You got no money saved up. Would it not make so much more sense to get 3 like-minded guys, save a fuck ton of money, make a fuck ton of money, and just do what you want?
Yeah.
And dudes are so much easier to live with. I can fucking say that firsthand, bro. It's like, be realistic with yourself, right? You don't like living with your missus. Just be honest.
Every guy I know...
Be honest, bro.
Every guy I know that lives with their missus is just miserable.
They just want to get away.
I can understand if you have a family, you have children and stuff. But like before that, what is the point?
Later down the line, bro. Set yourself up first.
I don't see the point. Like every single time I've seen it happen, they move in with their missus, and within 6 months, all they want to do is just get the fuck out of the situation. Because it's like...
But they're tied down. Once you've done that... I'll actually say this. Like, I'm a hyper optimistic guy, right? I believe you can do fucking anything if you put your mind to it. But if you are tied down by rent, kids, missus, and all these other fucking like marriage payments and all these other... You got to pay for the dog food, then you got to pay for the cat you didn't even want, and then you got to pay for like all this baby food, and then you have another kid. Like, you're fucked. You're literally fucked at that point.
So I'm sorry, bro.
You've got no chance.
Yeah, it's very, very hard.
Then you want to you pay for the rent and you want to like make a room where you film videos or you make like reviews about something, right? You finally got this idea where you want to do something. Then the missus says, "That's the baby's playroom," or like you can't do that, or you want to build a man shed at the back, and she says no.
This is my eyelash studio.
It's my eyelash studio.
Like imagine this room right here, this podcast room. Imagine you lived with a girl. This would just be an eyelash studio, bro. Like this, we can do this.
And even that, like she'd be nagging me because I'd be spending too much time doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's just a horrible idea. Like I said, you just fuck yourself if you just.
It's just fuck. But it's so just promoted.
Yeah, well, it's just normal, especially like over here. Like I heard Andrew Tate talk about it in a podcast how he lived with an ethnic. He lived near an ethnic guy, and he had a Ferrari. But he's like, oh, well, how do you have that Ferrari? I might be getting the story like slightly twisted, but this is how I remember it. He said, oh, how do you have the Ferrari? You just work a normal job. You're like a lawyer. And then he's like, oh, well, I'm a lawyer, but I live with my brother who's like an accountant or something. And he lives with all his brothers. He lives with all his family. All the girlfriends live together, and they just lump everything into one household.
Yeah.
And they've got shared cars. They've got shared.
That's
bills.
how they afford the Ferrari and the nice house.
Exactly.
And then one of them was a builder, so every time they want to expand the family, they expand the house.
Too, yeah.
And they're all just like a big money making circle.
Exactly.
Like if you're just looking at it with an open mind, you can set yourself up.
Yeah, well,
it's actually pretty easy.
That's why Andrew and Tristan Tate live together.
You just got to not watch the
makes so much
news.
sense.
Just not watch the news. Not spend your whole life on your phone.
Exactly.
And you can just look at it like objectively and say, I can really build a life here.
That's like a weird setup.
You don't have to be trapped in the trade.
Yeah, it sort of is like a weird setup. That people think it's a weird setup over here. I think it makes so much fucking sense.
Because people just believe in this fairy tale thing where you get the missus and then you get the kids and it's happily ever after.
I don't think so.
What's the divorce rate, bro?
I think maybe eventually, but like once you've set yourself up.
67.
Yeah, exactly. And you've set yourself up.
People are 20, 23, 24. They don't know fucking anything. They don't know fucking anything. They don't know how to like take care of anything. They don't know how to pay for themselves, let alone anyone else.
And then they'll just like stick to that.
And then they'll get straight into the
Yeah, it's like first one's the stick or twist shit.
and then you're fucked for life.
Yeah, it's like you've got like a lockdown point. And it's like you've barely even you still hate your life, and then you've just locked it at that point.
Yeah.
it's like a shut off point. It's like, okay, kids, mortgage, family, shut off there, that's it. And then you're just stuck in that job and everything.
No, literally.
So why would you set yourself up first?
Just makes sense.
Exactly.
So we'll go back a bit and we'll talk about someone that's in school right now, because I know a lot of people watching this would be around that 16 to probably 17 age bracket. And they're thinking about going to the trade. Would that be something you would suggest in Australia?
I actually think, yeah. I still think, yeah. Because, like, I don't know, a university, unless you have a direct idea of what you want to do, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, and it requires a university degree, then okay, go through the system and get the degree. But otherwise, if you don't really know what you want to do, there's no fucking point. Like, university is fucking garbage these days. It literally is. Like, you spend so much money just to, like, and then you also waste 2 or 3 years in university.
Yeah. Oh, also, by the way, guys, we haven't just watched like 3 Andrew Tate videos and come up with this conclusion. Like, we know heaps of people that have done this, and they'll all say the same thing. So just making that clear as well.
And also, like, the teachers that would... Sorry, this is just a side tangent, but the teachers... that like when I'd be mucking up in class, and teachers go, hey, I didn't go to university for 4 years just to deal with this. I'm like, oh, sorry, you did. You wasted 4 years, and now you're on 60K a year. Not my fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
It's like, that's what it does. You just get, like, an average job, and you've just wasted 4 years. Whether you could drop out 2 years before and also be working those 4 years, and then you've got 6 years of just saving up money and getting ahead. And I can also say that when you're out in an actual job, you get like way more life experience than you would in school. Like, school doesn't set you up for anything. I can literally confidently say I didn't learn a fucking thing in school. I was asleep for half of it, but like I don't think you learn anything. I don't think you learn anything in school.
No, I agree.
And school's not designed for everyone. They're designed for like most of the people, but for someone like me, I didn't learn shit even if I tried to learn, because it's not designed for people like me to the way.
You're better off just stepping into the real world earlier, getting used to it, when by the time everyone's just out of the brainwashing system and they're still like coming to terms with things that's not the reality. By the time they've done that, we've already saved up 20 grand. We've already got the car. We've already got the fucking house. We've got everything, and we're setting up businesses at that point.
And school won't teach you the real world. The trade will.
Exactly.
And if you're gonna go to school until you're 18, and then as soon as you get out of school, you're gonna have to face every problem right in front of you from when you're 18.
Yeah.
If you drop out and go on the trade, you're 16, 17. That means you're still under the legal age of voting, doing all that.
And you're also living with your parents probably.
And you're living with your parents, so you'll be facing. You'll slowly build up the real life situation until you're 18, and then you are fine with it.
Like, why spend 12 years in school to realize that life is fucked up when you can spend 8 years or 9 years to realize that?
Well, imagine this. Picture this, right? You came out of school at 16 years old at the same level that someone came out of university when they're 22 years old.
Exactly.
all they've got is a little piece of paper that says, I can be a doctor.
I've talked to people from universities that are fucking idiots, bro.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah,
idiots.
yeah. And they'll all
Just
say the same
more,
thing.
sorry, not so idiots, but delusional.
Yeah. I think, honestly, the real reason people go to, like, university... I know in America, literally the only reason people go to college anymore is just for the college or the university experience of going out and just, like, getting smashed. And
Oh, America, you need it.
America,
They literally need
Nah.
a certificate to get any job. Yeah.
I've heard different. I don't know what it's like, but I've heard different. I heard everyone says you don't need college, you don't need university these days, because it's like
Oh, it might be different now.
there's that many opportunities out there, especially online. Especially like you can be a freelancer. You can build, like, let's talk about the fact that within like a few weeks we built a successful pressure washing business.
Exactly. That's another thing I want to talk about as well.
You could literally do that at any point. You could do
That doesn't require. No one asked me for a certificate. Like, we literally got government jobs on public schools that paid us $2,300 to pressure wash a couple days, and that's legit. No certificate. I spent $200 on a pressure washer. I spent like an extra couple dollars on like rakes and a few other little things. I made a logo and a name, and I started just running Facebook ads, and you start getting clients.
Yeah.
Like, these are legitimate things. You can go to you can go to my YouTube channel and look at it. It's all been documented.
That was a random thing. We just randomly started off a pressure.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't even need motivation. There was no motivation there. I was just like, let's try this out.
Let's just see if it works. Like,
Buy the pressure washer, get into it, done. And that's like the power of taking action as well.
We made the money we spent on the pressure washer back on the first job.
On the first job.
$500, $700 first job.
Yeah. There was literally a job we did in $700 in a day.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when we did the driveway,
Yeah.
what was it?
Yeah.
We didn't just pressure wash it. What about?
Yeah, so picture this. Imagine, like, if I were to go back and just try to do, like, a perfect streak. Like, you could drop out at 16, do the same thing we did, start, like, just a pressure washing thing. Imagine the level you could scale that to by the time you were, like, 22. Imagine the level you could scale that to by the time you're 22, when most people are coming out of university with tons of debt
Oh, bro.
and a little certificate that says, I can get abused by little kids by being a teacher.
Exactly.
And get paid $60K a year, which I can go get paid more at a factory job.
Yeah.
Can we also mention how expensive school and uni is?
Oh.
And you're also not getting paid to do those.
That's what I'm saying. You come out with, like, just
Exactly.
tons of
Fuck
debt.
shit
You come
tons
back
of-
with negative.
My
money.
mum's still paying off her debt. Like,
From what?
still. From going to school, going to uni.
Oh my god.
50 grand.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Holy
Like,
shit.
when you could just drop out at 16, I'm not fucking telling everyone should drop out if you don't have a clear indication thing of what you want to do and you need to go to university, whatever. This isn't a mass thing where we're telling everyone drop out. You know, obviously, if that's not smart, don't do it. But you could literally just drop out, fucking start a business with massive demand, like we did with pressure washing, and make a shit ton of money. Yeah. And that's especially like tradies in Australia. There's so much demand for tradies, and you can make a killing if you're in the right industry.
Yeah, and like this little certificate shit, no one even asks, bro. Like, no one cares.
Nah, bro.
No one's like, where's your certificate in business? Like, what? They have a fucking certificate for business. What does that do, bro? What does that do?
I don't know.
You're better off just trying to start doing it when you're 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And just going through trial and error and actually learning the real shit.
And also, the teachers that, if you do go to uni to learn business, these teachers that are teaching you business have never run a business.
That was the thing that blew my mind.
They went to uni to learn business and
the
then
best
teach
way
business.
is to just listen to podcasts or watch YouTube videos of people who have run a business.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
they will
free
tell you
university.
everything. They would tell you everything.
I'd say, get yourself in a trade job or like a factory job where you can just listen to podcasts all day. Like, you can just plug in your earphones and just zone out.
Life hack, bro.
You can read a book a day if you just get an audio book, and you can literally listen to podcasts of millionaires talk to you all day about how they became a millionaire. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally OP.
Yeah, so why would you go to a university, do a university course and listen to someone who is telling you how to run a business but is a teacher for $60K a year, when you could literally just make money while listening to a podcast about a millionaire telling you how to make $1 million?
I don't know, it's beyond me.
It is beyond me as well. Like, I remember when I was in VCAL, I had this elective, which was like business. And I was just sitting there and I'm just sort of like, I can't remember what the teacher was teaching us, like how to set up a business plan or something on like a little sheet.
Yeah.
And write it all down. I'm thinking, this is fucking bullshit. Because I think actually before this, I tried out drop shipping and I think I only made like $100, but it was like in a day or something. But I was like, okay, I didn't do this business plan or anything.
And then you're like, everything was a lie.
And I'm like, but the teacher is not even running a business.
Yeah,
The teacher is on $60K a year.
that's true.
Oh, yeah. I don't get that.
Okay guys, quick intermission. I hope you're all enjoying the podcast so far. As a lot of you will know, we are not sponsored by anyone. Anything shown or promoted on this podcast was either made or owned by us. So if you are enjoying the podcast, what you can do to support us is hit that subscribe button and click on notifications if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, you can favorite this podcast so you don't miss out every single time we upload. A new episode is put out Friday, 6 p.m. every week. We talk everything self-improvement from gym, mindset, money, and we try and make every week as exciting as the last one. With that being said, all of the other links to our self-improvement clothing, our socials, and all other projects, it's all down below, so go check that out. But without further ado, here's the rest of the podcast. Thanks for watching. Alright, so obviously throughout my entire career in the trade, I had abusive bosses, and I'm not talking like, you know, he might have called me stupid. Like, he'd literally say to me I was a waste of air, and like, I was like, keep in mind, I was like 15, 16. He was telling me like, a waste of air, you're fucking stupid. And like, I even grabbed me at one point, and that's where I was like, no more. When he literally grabbed me by the shirt and I fucking did this to him, I was like, fucking off, cunt. And that was, no, literally.
No, bro, I had the
that was
same
enough.
thing.
I'm literally 16, cunt. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
He wasted no time with abusing me. I think I was there for about 4 hours before he started calling me names.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah, so how to deal with bosses 101, swift elbow.
Yeah.
Grab you by the shirt, it goes like this. So you gotta wait, you gotta sort of rev him up.
yeah.
You gotta be like,
prepped. You gotta have your elbow cocked up here a little
yeah,
bit.
it's like revved up, ready? He grabs your shirt, just done. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Right? That'll teach him. No, but seriously, yeah, like he'd call me like fucking stupid, and he'd have this like DC thing where he'd call you a dumb cunt.
You're like, you know what DC's are?
But at least there's people that have been in that, and I'd see people come in that only worked like 2 days. They don't know anything.
Oh yeah.
They're expected to know everything.
Yeah.
And then they do something. It's like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you fucking brain dead. You fucking dropped on your head when you were a kid, mate. Anyway. And this wasn't just verbal abuse. So it was like physical abuse in there too, you know? So how to deal with bosses.
Well, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry? If you can, try work for a bigger company.
Yeah.
I'd say that because the small ones will always try to take advantage of you, and they'll always do everything sketchy as fuck.
And there's a reason why it's small, because there's literally a reason why it's small, because businesses don't survive when they don't care about the people.
Exactly.
Like, the people is all the business is.
Because like small companies come with people who don't know how to run companies, which is also abusing your
The people that run your business. That are doing your business.
Abusing your employees. That's not how you grow a business.
That's fucking stupid. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. So anyway, you go ahead.
So the first thing you guys need to do to deal with bosses is understand that, like, you have no obligation to be there forever. Like, you can quit at any time and not feel bad about it. That's your decision, and just fully get your head around that first. It's your decision and it's your fucking life. It's literally your life, and you can either be stuck there feeling guilty, or you can just fucking go because it's your life and you can do what you want.
Like, don't let yourself be a pushover.
Yeah.
Like, don't let them abuse you, because like you may have this thing in your head where it's like you're lesser than your boss, or you're lesser than the older people at work. It's like, no, you're not. You're still a fucking person. It's like, if they call you a cunt, just be like, nah, you're a cunt, and I'll go if you keep calling me that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll actually they'll like respect you more for that.
This is what I've said.
If you just let yourself, like, for instance, I had a guy, we had a guy at our work that would just cop just so much shit, and it would only get worse. And I'm like, bro, say something, or just do something, or just
Where's your testosterone, you know?
leave, yeah.
Like, and you've got to set the boundaries from the start.
Exactly.
Because if they find out that they can manipulate you from the start, you're fucked. You're literally fucked. And they're gonna push you more until you just crack it. Or maybe they never crack it. Maybe they just deal with a life of abuse. Mm-hmm. But this is what I realized when I stepped out of my first job, just getting pushed around, and I came in like recuperated, and I said, I'm never gonna let that happen to me again. I am a man with a set of balls. No one is above me. And I went in there like, maybe they are above me because they're my boss or whatever, but they're not. So I went to the next job, and same thing. He would literally just try and push me around, but I'd set the boundaries from the start. I remember I was like carrying these planks or something. He's like, you fucking idiot. You put it up there. And I was thinking to myself, I was bewildered because this is my first day. And he's literally calling me a fucking idiot because I don't know where to put the planks. Even though how am I supposed to know where you put them?
Yeah, a lot of bosses do that. They'll expect you to know.
So I just put the planks down. I was like, fucking what? And then they sort of just get it from there. That you're not like, you know, you're not just a little kid that's going to be putting up with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So they understand from there that you're like a real human, and you're going to like cooperate with them, because that's also more cooperating with them in a way.
Yeah. And I remember you had a lot of comments on that. You made a TikTok video ages ago saying, like, don't let yourself get abused by your boss.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying, okay, but then I'll just get fired from my job. And I'm like, okay, best case scenario.
Great.
You don't even have to tell them you're leaving. They'll just tell you to go.
Yeah.
That's the
and
best
then
thing.
and then you don't have to deal with it.
Exactly. You just go. Then
It's the scarcity. It's a scarcity mindset. People think they're trapped.
Yeah, people think, exactly. People think they're trapped. There are so many jobs going
There's
on.
such a demand for tradies. Like you could literally get fired and get a job the next day. When I quit my trade job, I did a night shift the same day, like same night. Sorry, I quit the job and then I did a night shift because they wanted me desperately. And especially if you've done a trade before.
Most jobs these days, if you even ring them, they'll like, especially like factory or trade jobs, they won't even ask for anything. They'll just say, "Can you come in the next day?"
Exactly.
I've had that every single job I've got. They've just told me, "Next day, can you come in, please, please?" Like,
Yeah.
People want workers, especially here in Australia. There's so many workers. Like, if you've got literally nothing, let's say you've got nothing, like catch public transport, Uber to like some area where there's just fuck tons of factories. Just walk around. I can guarantee you get a job in the day.
Yeah. So these fucking idiots that tell me I can't get a job. It's like you're literally lying. Either that or you're vegetative or something. Because there's no way you can't get a job in Australia. It's ridiculous. It's like these people on government welfare. It's like, are you actually retarded?
Yeah,
I have no respect for homeless people. Like literally none. And I've been homeless.
No, but it's true. But it's
It's
like,
true.
It's true, yeah.
No, I'm saying
acting like they can't do anything about it. It's like, just get a job.
no, literally just get a job. If you're on drugs, that's your fault.
Yeah.
If you're a chick, I understand a bit more because you don't have like that testosterone to go and do that. But if you're a dude just laying on the street, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? There are so many jobs. Like I've actually seen like borderline homeless people come into the job and then fucking save money.
Oh yeah.
Like they come in all the time. So there's no respect there for people who can't get a job. It's like so easy, bro.
Yeah, he's got to get up and really just got to get up and do it.
Just gotta get up and fucking do it.
Oh yeah, so here's a big one. If you actually want to save any money when you're working a trade, this is a massive one that like I originally used to waste so much money on. Is you go out and you get like KFC every single like break. And it's like a little dopamine hit though, because it's like I've worked so hard for the first 4 hours of the day. I need to go and get KFC. But it's like, bro, that's so much money. Like if you're spending $15 on like a Zinger box and a drink every single day, at the end of the week you've spent fucking like $100, $150.
Yeah.
Like that even just that money there, that could be it. That could be the difference between you saving money and not having any money.
That could be the difference between you being in the trade your whole life or not.
Exactly. Like it's like a Zinger box every day is $5,000 a year.
So do you want a Zinger box now and be stuck in the trade for the rest of your life, or do you want no Zinger box and then finally escape? It's up to you.
Because it only takes.
Down to a Zinger box.
It all comes down to a Zinger box, boys.
It's not even that. It's just like more like you could just cut down on certain things and save a ridiculous amount of money by the end of the year. Like it's just the little things. Just
Meal prep at the start of the week. So
that's the best thing you could do. Just meal prep on one day, have it stocked in the freezer. You've got lunch every day. Like even just like the basic meal. Like, let's say for instance you make yourself pasta every single day for like lunch. It's like how much is like the pasta? Like $2 a box rather than $15 for a Zinger box.
Yeah. And you're going to get called gay on the work site because you're cooking your food and God forbid you do anything else but like drink, smoke and buy Zinger boxes.
Oh, I remember you're
going to get bullied, but who fucking cares as long as you're doing the work?
Yeah.
Just work hard, show that you work hard and they'll respect you.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember like having the tuna and rice on the work site. Everyone would be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, and I don't want to get this twisted as well in this video. Like, if you're in the trade, fucking work hard at that trade, don't be a fuckwit because that's just going to make life harder for yourself. Then you are going to have the boss on your back. Then you're going to have everyone else on the team saying this is unfair. You're not like putting in, you're not putting in your load.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, work hard in the trade though. Don't get this twisted to think that like you should bludge or whatever. Work hard, and it's going to make it easier because the boss isn't going to fucking be on your back all the time.
That's like
you're going to get more respect.
Yeah, that is it. You also like try not to get abused by actually working.
Yeah, like if they're saying, "Fucking, why are you so slow?" Like speed up.
Yeah.
know?
There is a little bit of common sense still, where it's like you got to actually do like.
Yeah, this isn't like a one-sided thing,
Yeah. Monster energy drinks. If you're going to be a bricklayer or a concreter, just fucking delve into those.
So these things, guys, you need to have an unhealthy obsession with caffeine. No, I'd literally sit here and be like, guys, caffeine's bad for you. Don't have caffeine, like maybe don't.
That's a lie, though.
That's fucking lie. If you're working on something after work, you're going to probably be sleep deprived. So you need to have these.
Yeah, it's like a requirement, right?
Maybe not these. Maybe have coffee. It's a lot better for you. But the only way I survived through like the youth market days and the bricklaying days, because I was like working fucking 10-hour days and also working on business after it.
Oh, but not to mention you would literally get home at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say. So I literally this is for all the people with excuses in my comments. I just want to address this. I would literally start work at 5, right? I'd get to the work site at 5. This was during summer, so we'd finish a bit earlier because it would get hot later. I'd get to the work site at 5, but I'd have to wake up at 4 because it was a trip to the city. I'd catch the train to the city, then an Uber from the train station to the work site. I'd start the mix. The boys would get there like 30 minutes after. I'd do that, and then at the end of the day, when I finished at about 3, I'd then get dropped off either in like Caulfield or like Cranbourne because the boss didn't want to drive me home because he's a fuckwit. So I'd get dropped off there, and because I lived in Carinbara, there was there was only V lines, so there was like only one bus you could catch, and it was a fucking 6 o'clock bus. Yeah. I just remember the 6 o'clock bus, and I'd just have to dawdle around, like just have to walk around in like either Cranbourne, Caulfield, or Pakenham, walk around like trying to find something to do. And then I'd finally get home, 6 o'clock, I'd probably get home at like 6:30 or 7. And from then I'd work until like fucking God knows what time I was going to bed. Because realistically, if I want to get 8 hours sleep, I'd have to get
you're
about
going to
8.
bed at like 10 o'clock and waking up at 4.
It was later than that. It was probably like 11 or some shit, and then get up at 4. But I was like literally working with manufacturers after that, getting quotas sent over and building the business. So like there is no excuses, bro.
Yeah, I remember like...
I don't suggest it because I wasn't all there, but...
That's unhealthy, but I just remember that whole time I was going to school.
Yeah, you were at school.
So I was going to school, right? And I was like, I'd wake up at like 8:30, just walk to school, do fuck all, sleep in class, come back, it's like 3:30. But the thing that pissed me off the most is I'd see you be doing this, but then when I went to school, I'd just hear people whinging about school. Oh, school's so hard, the homework and this and that and this and that. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. This is nothing. Literally. This is literally nothing, gun.
And I'd get home, and this was during COVID, so you were doing like the homeschool.
Oh, but I was.
And you'd be sat there with like a peanut butter and jam sandwich playing Minecraft or something.
I knew I was doing fuck all. Like I was actually grateful. I'm like I'm not doing it. Like.
Also, I also did gym after that too.
Oh yeah,
I was doing gym as well.
Yeah, so for people that say I don't have time for gym, it's like fuck off.
Like, shut up, you
What was
fucking.
your caffeine intake for the day? Like how many drinks? So you'd space it out, so you need to have like pre-workout, but you also need.
I wasn't having pre-workout at that time. It was pretty much Monsters or V's. I was really right into the blue V's. That was before I sort of understood that sugar isn't good for you. Blue V's are like the worst in terms of sugar.
It's like 50, 60 grams.
Yeah, so I'd buy a 4-pack of those. Like I'd have like an iced coffee in the morning because I didn't have my license at this time, right? It's just another thing. I didn't have my license, so I was fucking 15. So I'd go to the servo in the morning. I'd get like your classic, sausage roll and your V. So I'd have one of those, or I'd put like an iced coffee most of the time.
And then also a 4-pack, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then it was like a 4-pack of the V's or these. So I'd have iced coffee, 4-pack of V's, and then I'd be dawdling around like Cranbourne or Caulfield. I'd buy another one, and then I'd get home, and then I usually that was it.
So about 6 energy drinks, 5, 6.
And I'd literally go and buy a fucking KFC Zinger box every day.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Yeah. So
because the boys would encourage it, or either that or it was a kebab. But they'd be like, go get a Zinger box, mate. And not only that, I was getting fried on the drugs every weekend. Like I was literally just annihilating as many drugs as possible.
That's what we could do. I remember at COVID, it would be go to.
That's
work
all you could do, just annihilate drugs.
Honestly, go to work early in the morning, come back at 5 in the afternoon, and then the only thing that was open during COVID was the bottle-os.
Yeah,
like that was all that was open.
Oh man,
so that's all we did was just buy a 10-pack.
No, literally, you just drink and
by
then,
yourself.
And the only thing that you could because the shops weren't open, but the dealers were still doing it. Because, the dealers don't care about COVID safety.
Oh, yeah.
I'd still do the exchanges with the mask on, but,
stay safe. Hey, but at least you got that phase out of the way when you were, 16, 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, so some people are graduating university, and I've actually seen this before. They'll do a university degree, and then they'll be like, I can't seem to get any of these jobs. I'll just do a trade. So they've done university, but they've come out at, 22 years old and started doing a trade. And
That's fucking rough.
They went through that phase. And
yeah. I just want to say as well, if you're going to go in the trade, get in the union.
Oh, yeah. If you're actually going to do that for life,
get in the fucking union, man.
You might as well get in the union.
Why the fuck would you go to some small business who treats you like shit, pays you fuck all, you're doing all the trash jobs with no safety, they're making you grind stuff with some angle grinder that's from the 1980s.
Oh,
go get a union job where you make 50 an hour.
I'm so surprised I have 10 fingers still. The amount of shit I used to stand on
and eyes.
Oh, and eyes, yeah. Oh, I actually had a moment where I was standing on top of a mud board, grinding out these bricks with a diamond edge blade, and I'm cutting, and I literally watched the blade shatter, and pieces of it just go through my legs.
Yeah, I know.
That would have gone straight through my leg if that didn't go.
Yeah, they just explode.
I got a nail in my knee.
Don't shoot nail guns into your knee.
Also, as an apprentice, there's going to be heaps of fuck ups. One of the biggest fuck ups I did, this was actually on a union site, but I wasn't on union rates.
Oh,
but this was,
we did that heaps, where we'd be on union sites, but not making union money.
Every job for me was on union site.
I was building these apartment blocks, right? I was a bricklayer. It was like 100,000 bricks or something. It was a massive job. And it was Friday. And at the end of the day, if you've ever been a bricklayer, you've got to fill up the water drum so that you can put water in the mixer. Yeah. And I'm filling this drum up, but I forgot to turn the tap off on Friday. And it was a long weekend over Queen's birthday. I come back on Monday, and we got there a bit late, so everyone else was still there. The site was fucking right up to the knees, filled with water. This is a massive site, massive union site. The entire site filled up to the knee with water. And they're fucking bringing in all these water pumps, all these electric pumps. All the timber is fucked. All the equipment's fucked. Everything is just absolutely cooked. And I was responsible. But I left the fucking hose on over the long weekend. So, like, if you do something like that and you get abused, it's haha funny. You just admit it. You just fucking, deal with it. Because dude, I would have...
How much money do you reckon?
I'm just trying to think now. Probably tens of thousands, to be honest. Hey, it's their fault. They left the drop saws on the ground.
Oh, I remember the first days.
Apprentice fuck ups 101.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's going to fuck up like that. I think the first day, I like nicked the corner of a brick wall with my wheelbarrow, like a freshly laid wall. And I'm like, if you knock the lower bricks, you can't just take it out and replace it.
You got to rack them back.
You got to rack it all the way down from the top. And we're already like past scaff height. So we've taken down like a day of work just because I've nicked the corner of the wall.
Yeah.
I've never had an apprentice fuck up.
Never had an apprentice?
I'm on a good streak.
Oh, you're a good boy.
I'm a good man.
I'm a fucking idiot, man. Like, when it comes to that shit. It's the small things. Like, you guys will probably realize more in these videos. Like, I do stupid shit. I'm not stupid, but I do a lot of stupid shit. So, smartest dumb person you'll ever meet.
I said that you're the smartest dumb guy I know.
Yeah, like, literally the first day I ran into the brick wall. He was completely fucked. Like, the whole brick wall was fucked.
Hey, but that's like a thing though. It's like there's no excuses. Like, even if you think you're like stupid or some shit, you can go home and like you can at least try to do shit, like build a business and start stuff.
Yeah. I remember I would sort of just accept the stereotype that I was like the dumb apprentice.
So much people do that, bro. So much people think that they're stupid.
But that's the persona I put on when I come to work. Like, I'm the stupid apprentice. And I wouldn't tell them about everything else that I'm doing in fear that they'd think I was like weird or gay or something because I went on the traditional route.
Yeah,
but I literally come to work accepting the persona that I was like the fucking retard apprentice.
I think everyone is to begin with, though. Like,
everyone's a bit retarded. Yeah.
Or you just don't know.
You literally just don't know, but they'll convince you you're retarded.
I think you're dumb because you don't know. Even though
this is why I was one of the toilets, man. I just fucking shed a tear. Hopefully, there's no Andrew Tate watchers here that might call me a fucking...
second day of being a chippy, the boss just dropped me off on site and said, "Do the fire. What's the hole that they put up there? The manhole.
Yeah, the manhole.
Yeah, the manhole. Do the staircase. Yeah, do the manhole. Do the staircase. Do." Heaps of cladding in one day, and I didn't even know how to reload a nail gun. And I was like, okay. And then he literally just dropped me off, and then I just walked home because I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm not doing this. Yeah, I'm going home.
I think I actually did the staircase, even though I've never been taught. I still did it. But yeah. I just walked off and went, fuck this.
Also, if you're like 16 or whatever, and you drop out and you're in like a shit job, you don't have to be in that shit job. Even just because you're young and shit, you can still be in a good job for a big company.
Oh yeah, that's why I'd say like
you don't have to be competent and not getting paid. Like, you have to be getting paid overtime. You have to, like, that legal shit. Like, you can take that up with authorities.
Like
you need to be getting paid overtime, bro, and super and everything else.
Yeah, what
pay slips and all.
What my boss said when I first rocked up is he said, we don't pay overtime because we have so many early days. We didn't have one early day, but we had every day was overtime.
Yeah, it's just small shit like that. Like,
so backwards.
Yeah.
They'll try and manipulate you, bro, and try like...
I just remember, this is a thing in Australia too. Like, do you know the whole like work experience thing you have to do when you're in school? Like 2 weeks of work experience. Yeah. So I did it for this guy doing carpentry. Anyway, like, and there's no fault to him. Like, this is just like, you're not even meant to be getting paid at all. There's like a minimum, like, it's like $0 or some shit. Like, I think it's like $2 a day or some like weird like minimum.
Right.
But it's like, it's meant to be work experience. The only thing I experienced, I worked 13 hours in one day. I got to the work site at 6 a.m. and I didn't leave till 7 p.m. Not to mention the travel time. It took an hour to get there and an hour back. So it was actually... that's right, sorry. So I left home at 4:30 and I didn't get back home till like 9 p.m.
Dude, we'll pick...
And I got paid $50 for 1 week of doing that.
Like, you might not pay me anything. That's just insulting.
No. I'm like, ooh... I must be getting a big paycheck because I worked a lot of hours this week. I think I did like 60, 70 hours. And I get a $50 note. I'm like, oh, that's right. The minimum is like $2 a day.
Bro, but picture the boss, man. He's probably thinking like, I'm going to rinse this cunt for everything he's worth.
I made him so much money.
Dude, free labor.
Doing what all the other guys are doing, nailing the frames, like screwing in the decking. Like I was making him as much money as the rest of the crew was.
Yeah.
But he paid me $50 for the week.
Yeah. That was like, that's what I got so frustrated with bricklaying, because I know I was a good bricklayer. I was keeping up with the guys that had been there for 20 years, right? Because I'm like I can pick up things pretty quick. I'm not retarded. I shouldn't be doing bricklaying. So I got pretty good pretty quick. And I was just getting paid so much less than these full-time guys. And that's why I got so fed up. But that's just how it is, because that's how apprentices work in Australia. Because you're supposed to be learning, but I didn't even go to school the whole time. I didn't go to tape.
Send you to tape.
They didn't even send me the tape. They just rinsed me for everything I was worth. Like, this guy can lay bricks good. Thank fuck. Let's just fucking make him do like 10, 11-hour days.
I think there's one thing, if there's one thing you take away from this episode, it would honestly be like, when you get home from work, don't think that that's it though.
Yeah.
Don't think they're like, oh, day's over, day's done. Like, I sort of treat, like, if I treat the job like that's just a big morning routine. And when you get home from your job, that's when the time starts to start working on other shit so you can actually get out.
Yeah.
You need to have like an escape plan. Like, it's pretty much jail. And you need to think of a way to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because no one's coming to bail you out.
That's real, yeah.
No one's coming to bail you out. You got to actually like think of an escape plan, think of the steps you need to do, and just like work your fucking ass off. Like, just front load everything so you can get out. Otherwise, you're going to get to that point where you're 30 years old, because you've only realistically got between when you leave school at 18, for instance, and when you're 30 years old, you've only got that window to actually do something to get out. Because after that, you're gonna get trapped. You're gonna get a girlfriend. She's gonna want to be your wife, and then she's gonna want a kid. You're gonna want to get a mortgage, and it's pretty much over.
You've got all these debt payments, and you haven't saved a
You've got
cent.
no responsibilities while you're young. That's why you just need to work all fucking day. Like, I don't care if oh, it's strenuous, oh, I'm tired, I need like it's too hard.
Hamza told me I need to work 3 hours a day.
Yeah, I read 4 hour work week. I only need to work 4 hours. It's like, bro, do everything that's within your physical limits to get the fuck out, because it's your only opportunity. If you miss the window, you're fucked for life. You're working until you're 67, and then 3 years later you'll die.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
SPF sunscreen as well, guys.
Wear your sunscreen, please.
Fucking hell, bro. Don't think you're a pussy because you're wearing sunscreen and putting on like...
I think I aged like 10 years.
I'm still recovering from the effects on my skin from just being out in the sun all day, and like no one would bring sunscreen, and there was just no sunscreen provided. It was like, what the fuck? It's literally 35 degrees, and like I'm still like, I've got crow feet, right? I'm literally fucking 19. I never had those until I was like on the trade.
Me too. Especially inhaling cement and like all the silica dust.
You literally sign a form when you get into the fucking bricklaying. You sign a form saying if you die, it's your own fault.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you die from silica dust, it's your own fault.
If
some guy in a business suit came to the work zone, I was like, "Can you just sign this form?" And I'm like, read the fine print. In short terms, it's basically saying, like if you die, it's not your boss's fault. It's your fault.
Yeah, inhaling silica dust is my responsibility, and if I get lung cancer, I'm dead. But I remember, if anyone goes to the Cows Pier, if you know where Cows is, and you see that dome, pay respect to that dome, because I fucking got lung cancer in there, I reckon. Yeah, I actually reckon I'm cooked after that. Grind out all the bricks in this like spherical dome, and there's no airflow. Yeah. And if you know, silica dust is like, it's like a toxin, like it fucks your lungs up.
Probably asbestos in there too.
And you can chuck the video up. I can put the video in there.
We've got a video of it.
Yeah, I've got the video where it's like you can't even see the other side of this like dome that we were cutting out, because it's just this cloud of silica dust and brick dust. And I remember it was so stupid. We would literally work for 5 minutes and then take a 10-minute break to go cough up all the fucking...
The funniest thing was when our workmate, he walked out to have like a breath of air and lit up a smoke and started smoking. Like he had a smoke break because he was sick of inhaling the silica dust. Like, don't you need oxygen? Anyway, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, but like if you're like, I should have walked off that day. I don't know.
Well, we were thinking about just going on the bus and going home on smoking.
Oh, yeah. I think because we went up and we got like, I remember we went up to get Subway for lunch, and we were just looking at the bus because we didn't have a license.
We're just walking like around Cows, just covered in this grey dust, like we just come out of like Afghanistan or something.
Yeah, and we're getting lunch. We're just looking at this bus terminal. We just see like a bus that's like
conveniently parked.
Yeah, it's conveniently parked there, ready to go home. I'm like, should we just get on the fucking bus? Should we just get on the bus and go home? Because like, We're literally contracting lung cancer just working here.
Why the fuck did we stay?
I don't know, because it fucks with your brain. You think you have to be there, like you're like obliged to be there. I would have happily got fired that day.
No, legit.
Like we literally.
It was only pain and suffering after that day anyway.
Oh, bro, I had like red snot for like the next 2-3 weeks. That fucked with me. I was coughing up shit for like weeks after that.
Oh, well, it's a good thing it sets you up for life anyway.
It aged me like years. I reckon it aged me 10 years.
Yeah.
I reckon it fucking aged me. All the inhaling all the silica dust and just the sun, just the abuse on my body. Like my back has never been the same.
Sets you up for life, more like shortens your life.
Exactly. All right, boys, I think we'll wrap it up there. If you guys got any questions, feel free to leave them in the description below. And if you guys are stuck in that position and you want to get a network of people you want to talk to that are on the journey of success, you can go to the link in the description. You can join the 180 program. We've got heaps of members in there already, talking about all sorts of ways of making money, getting fit, bulking, cutting, going to gym. And it's just really a group to keep you accountable and keep you on the right path. So if you guys are interested in that and you feel like you don't have any friends that are on the same path, you can go down there. If you guys want to bulk, we've got a great 4,500 calorie diet program. That's also in the description. You can find that there. Also, Hayden just released his aesthetic bodybuilding program. So that's also down there.
Yes, it's called Golden Era Aesthetics.
Also, send me your best voice messages. You can message any of our Instagrams or the 1% Instagram, and the top 3 questions will get a shaker cup. So yeah,
Ask some interesting shit.
and ask some really we had some great questions this
That was
episode.
such a good question.
Yeah, we had some really great questions. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.